These are the Emerald Isles, lush, green, and sun-kissed pristine beaches and rich marine life. An archipelago in the Indian Ocean. But that isn't all the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are about. Let me take you back a little in years.
The history of Andamans dates back from the Ramayana period. Hanuman in Sanskrit is called Andaman, hence the name Hanuman being called Agademan. Angadamon by Ptolemy in 1st century to Angamarian by Marco Polo in the 13th century. In the 17th century, Archibald Blair of the Royal Indian Navy, after whom its capital city Portblair is named, founded a naval base on a small island adjoining South Andaman, that is Chatham, which hosts the first sawmill in Asia.
The Union Jack was hoisted for the first time on 22nd January on 1858 at Portblair. This place was so far away from the mainland India that it was scouted to be an ideal location as a penal settlement, where freedom fighters and hardcore convicts, all the same for the British, were to be imprisoned. The first batch of convicts had 773 prisoners.
But these weren't the only people here. For centuries, these islands were inhabited by the Sentinelese, the Joravas, the Onges, the Champanes, the Nicobaris, and the Great Andamanis. All tribes living here are believed to be here since the Middle Paleolithic Age. Rajendra Chola I of the Chola dynasty used the island as a strategic base, as is the case in the present time too. The Nicobars were a Danish colony, initially named New Denmark and later the Frederick Islands, which were handed to the British in 1756.
The Battle of Aberdeen was fought between the Great Andamanis and the British on 17th May 1859, which of course was won by British, not only because of advanced weaponry, but a traitor, an escaped convict who alerted the British about the planned attack of the Great Andamanis tribe.
Let me take you to a place of historic importance, the cellular jail, built between 1896 to 1906, a place of exclusion and isolation, an ideal penal settlement. The puce-colored brick building, the brick brought from Burma, was to have 7 wings of 3 stories each, a tower at the center, and in the section where the guards kept watch on the inmates, which served to communicate to Ross Island, which was the British administration, through light signals. The prisoners lived in cells of 4.5 by 2.7 meters, designed such that the inmates could not talk to each other. Veer Damodar Savarkar, a freedom fighter from Maharashtra, was jailed in isolation here, and his brother too was, but both didn't know of each other's presence. Many atrocities were faced by these prisoners. Hard labor, harsher punishments, cruelty knew no bounds. Hanged to death wasn't a rarity. The cellular jail houses the memories of the martyrs. The Second World War took place in 1939. The islands were invaded by the Empire of Japan on 23rd March 1942. The Japanese occupation of the Isles of 2 years is said to have been more torturous than the British one. Interconnected bunkers were made all around the islands. It is said that a passage was made between Ross Island, the headquarters of British administration, and Portblair, but one has yet to find its location.
Ross Island, the place of administrative offices and residence of the British officers. It had all the facilities: a swimming pool, a bakery, a church, a theatre, a general store, and also had a cemetery of the many who died due to malaria or tropical diseases. It is a must visit.
पर द्वीप पोर्टब्लेयर से 4 किलोमीटर पश्चिम में स्थित है। यहाँ पर भारत के सभी भागों से लाए हुए स्वतंत्रता सेनानी को इस द्वीप पर उतारा जाता था। यहाँ के टूटे फूटे फांसी घर अपनी निर्मम अतीत की दास्तां बताते हैं। इस द्वीप पर अंग्रेजों द्वारा बनाई गई पहली जेल हुआ करती थी। यहाँ पर स्वतंत्रता सेनानी शेर अली को फांसी दी गई थी क्योंकि उन्होंने 1872 में गवर्नर जनरल लॉर्ड मेयो की हत्या की थी। कहा जाता है कि यहाँ पर महिला स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों को भी रखा जाता था।
अब हम जिस पावन धरती पर खड़े हैं, इस धरती को मेरा शत शत नमन। यह उन 44 वीर क्रांतिकारियों की याद दिलाता है जिन्हें सेलुलर जेल से निकालकर हाफरीगंज के एक पहाड़ी क्षेत्र पर लाया गया और उन्हें एक साथ गोली मार दी गई। उनकी निर्ममता यहीं पर खत्म नहीं हुई। इसके बाद उन्होंने एल आकृति का गड्ढा बनवाकर उन वीर क्रांतिकारियों को एक साथ दफना दिया।
Subhash Chandra Bose of the Indian National Army or the INA visited the islands, and notionally the islands were passed on to the INA during this period. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose hoisted the Indian national flag for the first time on the soil of Andaman on December 29, 1943 at the Gymkhana ground. 30th December is commemorated as the Andaman Day. General A.D. Loganathan of the INA was appointed as the governor of the island's Azad Hind government.
महात्मा गांधी मरीन नेशनल पार्क अंडमान द्वीप समूह के वंडूर में स्थित है। यह राष्ट्रीय उद्यान पोर्टब्लेयर से 29 किलोमीटर दूर है। यह उद्यान जैव विविधता का अनूठा उदाहरण है। इसका निर्माण 24 मई 1913।
The islands on 26 December 2004 were hit by an earthquake of magnitude 9.1, which triggered a massive tsunami that devastated the Nicobar group and wreaked considerable damage to the Andaman group, with 2,000 deaths, 4,000 orphaned, and 40,000 rendered homeless. The southernmost tip of India, Indira Point, was also submerged due to this.
The 572 islands, 38 are inhabited. Its importance has risen over the years. The Union Territory has its tri-command here due to its strategic location. The population too has grown over the years. The early settlers being refugees after the partition, Bengalis from East Bengal, and communities from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. It is a mini India, and one can see and experience the unity among them here.
The population in the isles has increased every year. It is feared that the islands may not sustain such population. Tourism, timber, fisheries are its main industry. Aberdeen Clock Tower, the iconic clock tower, still the center of the city.
हमारा प्यारा अंडमान।
बंगाल की खाड़ी में द्वीप है ये प्यारा, बंगाल की खाड़ी में द्वीप है ये प्यारा, छोटे भारत के नाम से जाना जाता अंडमान हमारा। भारत से दूर रहकर भी है ये उसका एक अभिन्न अंग। कई न्यारे द्वीपों का है ये सुंदर संग, कई न्यारे द्वीपों का है ये सुंदर संग।
अंग्रेजों और इन द्वीपों की है एक पुरानी कहानी, भयानक अत्याचारों का साक्षी है ये काला पानी। वीर शहीदों की ये भूमि कहती कुछ कहानी है, यहाँ स्थित सेल्यूलर जेल शहीदों की जुबानी है।
फहराया यहाँ तिरंगा था, दुष्ट फिरंगियों को हम भारतीयों का बल दर्शाया था। गर्व है इस भूमि पर हमें, गर्व है इस भूमि पर हमें, जिसने इतिहास बनाया था। शत शत नमन है इस मिट्टी को, जिसने वीर शहीदों को अपनाया था।
कई वर्षों पुरानी संस्कृतियों का भंडार है ये, अनेक सुंदर पशु पक्षियों का संसार है ये, अनेक समुद्री तट है इसका अलंकार, पर्यटक आना चाहे यहाँ बार बार।
यहाँ की अनछुई प्रकृति है मनोहारी, यह है ईश्वर की अद्भुत कलाकारी। छोटी सी द्वीप में रहता है भाईचारा, अनेकता में एकता है हमारा नारा, अनेकता में एकता है हमारा नारा।